Johnson, now over to you. Same question. How did you start your fitness journey?
Well, for me, the most recent sort of time in which I can tell you about starting or even restarting, trying to get fit again, was going to the gym. Um, and at that point in time, there's like a lot of people, stuff going on in your life. There's someone sick in my life, and I just needed to have a little break. So uh, the gym was giving, as you always do, some sort of incentive. So it was half price with no joining fee. I thought, fantastic, and it's only 10 minutes down the road. And so that's where I started. I thought, right, I'll get down there. You'll give me an hour, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, so before that, did you used to do anything, or completely went from zero to that level, or you were doing a little bit here and there, stop and restarting, or January goer, like everybody starts on in January to go to the gym and then stop after?
No, actually, I started going to the gym. It was September rather than January, because I've always looked at January as a dangerous kind of thing. I'm not one for doing these kind of goals in January, thinking, yes, I'm going to lose this weight or I'm going to run this distance or all the rest of that. So no, this was September. Um, and I have to say, before that, it, fitness was not on my vocabulary. Life,
I
life.
remember a few times, Johnson, that I tried to convince you.
Yes, yes. You were there. Say,
Every time we met, Johnson, either in Slovenia or in Harrogate, whatever it was, and we say, "Hey, let's run, let's do something."
yeah. Well,
Oh,
that
keep going, keep doing.
that always proves the point to me that you can never push somebody unless they're willing to start. Um, and we all have that individual sort of key moment. And I think of those like little door openers where the door opens a little crack, and you have the choice then of either pushing and going through the door or just shutting the door again.
Mhm.
And so that point in time was when I thought I need to do something else.
But you asked me the question, what was the trigger? What was the motivation? What happened? I mean, don't tell me that your trigger was join now and pay in 6 months time. Was it really the price of the gym?
Of course, it makes a huge difference. Money motivates, finance motivates, but no,
Exactly.
that is one of the all of us have triggers, and that is a small trigger.
Mhm.
Um, but the bigger trigger was seriously when your mental health is connected to your physical health. And so for me, mentally, I needed to find a space for myself, um, which incidentally was full of other people. But that I and this is why it comes back to who you are as an individual. I love being around people. And so the gym was a perfect fit. When I went to the gym, I could see all these people. I can get away from my stress point and experience all this stuff. And it was absolutely fantastic. I can give you some stories of being in that gym that just, wow, it was fantastic. I loved it.
No, I know, excellent. I think it is. It's true. When you are in a gym, when you are in that environment, it motivates you, right?
Yes, yeah,
You're
yeah,
seeing other people doing it and lifting weight or running or whatever they're doing in class, you know,
yep.
it really gets you uplifted. But what was your thing? Weight, classes, running? What got you hooked?
Well, I could tell you what didn't get me hooked. It was hits.
Right.
high intensity
It
interval
wasn't a
training.
hit for you, right?
It was definitely not a hit. They gave you free classes to go to, and I went to one hit session, and I stood at the back, and I watched these younger, fitter people jumping up and down, and I thought, I'm sorry, there's no way I'm going to be able to do all of that.
Don't tell me that was 6:30 in the morning.
No, 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 no. This was about 11 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
But the thing is, for me, um, I would take I like this the slow and low approach to life, and that didn't include weights. There were no weights involved in this. I like a balanced approach in terms of a little bit of resistance and a little bit of treadmills and a little bit of rowing machines and all that sort of stuff. Because I think one of the things is if I get bored with this, I'm in trouble because I'll stop.
Mm.
And so part of the motivation is to say, okay, let's do now. All these terms now mean more to me now than they did, in 2018. If you tell me, so there's cardio, there's strength training, there's resistance, there's plyometrics, all these stuff. It's like, what language are you talking here?
Mm.
And so for me, it's important to say, well, the language isn't important, but the fact that I'd go along and I was surrounded by a whole host of people who were mixed. And that mix is important because when you get to an age that's above 55 and you go to the gym, and if you start to see guys who are, built like this, or girls who are in the leotards and all the rest, they're not leotards anymore, are they? So that shows you how old it is. That they're in there and they're pulling away and they're jumping on the box and all this sort of stuff there. Yeah, but that's not me, and that doesn't represent who I am. So when I go into the gym and I see somebody who's Asian, and he's there in his string vest and he's there in his glasses and he's a little bit overweight, and I thought, well, I didn't know I had a brother.
That's
But you go in there and then you see there's one occasion I saw three women who were over 75 come in, and they'd go on the treadmill and just talk to each other as they walk on the treadmill. I thought, fantastic, because there's so many different variety of people who are just making one step at a time to improve whatever you got. And I thought, yeah, I'm motivated in that scenario by these people who are just taking one step in front of another.
Mm.
Not trying to win a marathon, not even trying to run a marathon, not even trying to do a 5K, whatever it is. They're just there taking one step in front of the other.
Well, you do have all types of people in gyms.
Yeah.
My journey, I mean, I've always been in contact with gym. My first gym was very much like those old, iron and guys, blokes, huge
Yeah.
amount, huge, massive, nothing fancy, nothing electronic, pure iron and stamina. But I went through all types of gyms in my life, and there's all types of people. I mean, we are definitely not the successful Instagrammer influencer in terms of how we look, our bodies and anything. But it doesn't matter, does it?
Not in
Those two
not
ladies
in-
there, they are doing what they're supposed to do,
Yes,
and that's the thing. Nobody can judge anybody.
exactly. And if you do try and judge it, you will get it wrong.
Just do your thing. Just keep fit, keep well, keep your fitness level, and then admire other people, and then say, "Hey, bless your brother, bless your sister. I'm on my journey here, and this is it for me."
But also, not only do I not judge them, but I also gain inspiration from them.
Mm-hmm.
That that if you start to frequent wherever it is, you become one of the regulars of a space and a place.
Mm-hmm.
These ladies who would come, after, you know, 2 months, 3 months, I see them keep coming and they keep coming and they keep coming and they're doing what they're doing and thinking, yeah, same as with the guys who are really muscle bound, because they would inhabit the weights corner. And you know there's a weights corner in the gym. And I've never been in the weights corner in the
Also,
gym.
some of the whey protein jars that these guys carry is probably heavier than what you can. Right? Have you seen that? Those like massive jugs and protein
Yeah.
bottles and stuff. But that's it. That's it. That's the thing, isn't it?
So yeah, that's it for me. Is that wherever I am, but I need this space, and this space is important to
It
me.
motivates you.
It motivates me, exactly, because if I look to them and I try and compete and I say, in 6 months' time, I'm going to have, whatever it is, biceps, etc., or definition in this muscle. That's not where I was, and that's still not where I am, because I'm not interested in the thing that is in the mirror. What do I see? It's how do I feel? How do I live my life based on this activity that fits into the whole picture?
No, that is very key, I think, for everybody. I went through all those stages because, of course, I started very young,
Hmm.
and something I didn't say in my interview with you was that what took me to the gym when I was like 12, 13 was actually Stallone and Schwarzenegger and Van Damme, and looking all these guys, and oh my God, I'm gonna be like Schwarzenegger, you know.
And that's
I'll be
fine.
like.
That's
Oh,
fine.
by the way, I love. I mean, I visit his house here in Austria, his museum. I love him. He's still, his motivation. I love this guy still. And there is a whole school of all these guys that left a track record of, fitness and wellness and well-being. There's so many of them that we cannot even mention all of them. And there is a purpose for that. And then but then when you grow older, things start changing for you.
Correct.
And
And
that's
so
what I want to ask the question for you, because that's similar to me. You went into coaching, you went into soul searching, you went into all this higher pursuit. But at some point, you realized that had to be matched with fitness. That you needed fitness.
correct.
That wouldn't be by
That's
itself. You had to have a complete solution for you. Not only that, but food and fitness should be part of that Johnson, right?
definitely,
That type of Johnson.
definitely. And I realize that, along the way, that I can have all the intentions, I can have all the aspirations in terms of what you think you'd like to do with your life. And by the way, that question is always there for all of us. What are you doing with your life? What is your purpose? What's your mission? What's the big picture? What's your legacy? These things become more and more important. And even if the simple answer to that is I want to be healthy,
Mm.
then the fitness fits into that, because I can't be healthy if I'm not fit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like saying I want to ride a bicycle but only have one wheel, or the tires are flat. It just doesn't work.
And it
So
comes with maturity also, doesn't it? You
yeah,
you reach that level where you were. I mean, you've been helping many people, including myself, mentoring, and then suddenly you realize, wait a minute, these guys I'm mentoring, they're super fit. Some of
yeah,
these guys.
yeah.
So I think, was that something that went into your mind in the process of, okay, I need to do something about my body?
I've always resisted the physical aspect, because for me the mental bit, the learning bit is more important. That's the bit that I focus on. But your environment matters. So if you start to hang out with people who are physically fitter, and they have more energy, and they can do more, and they're wired in different ways, some of it starts to rub off. So I don't look at you and I think I'd like to copy you, but I might look at you and think, well, hold on. So we might have different aims in life, but how come you can achieve more than I can? on part of the fitness bit is that the fitness, the effort you put into becoming physically fit gives you more energy. So it's not like you put in 10p and you get 10p back out. You put 1 hour in and you get 3 hours of energy back out. And that whether it works with energy and it works with mood and all that sort of stuff. So that to me was where the coaching bit, I can talk to people about coaching and say, yeah, but coaching in terms of life is actually the holistic part of it. And fitness does fit into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we go through like spirituality, because we all have our journey through spirituality, through our beliefs and our faith, the background to it. We give another time. Also, the inner healing, the soul, the mind, the emotions, the feelings, the traumas of the past. But then suddenly you face that wall of resistance in terms of your health, your physical health, and you realize that we are one being.
Yes. Yeah.
All that should be combined in one unit. You can't be well mentally, physically, or mentally, emotionally, or even spiritually, and not well physically.
Yes.
Right? Because this is the body that we reside for this time on earth now, and you need to actually look after it well.
Exactly. So whether or not I meditate or I pray for 1 or 2 hours or 5 hours a day, I'm still my body is saying, well, actually can't sit down for more than half an hour. Then there's no way that you can achieve one part of what you think you are without the other bit. Because, you know, it's like somebody said to me, well, I actually pray walking because if I sit down, I fall asleep. And if I can't walk, I can't pray.
Yeah.
So I'm stuck.
That's a good thing to do, right?
So yeah, you walk and you pray. And as you walk, you get fitter. And as you get fitter, you're more in tune with
It's not meditation, it's tracking, right? You you go out and you think and you meditate, you pray, but you walk and you know.
Yeah.
No, that's something that is. I mean, nature is there. We covered that a little bit in our resilience program series. And if you're not yet watching it, please go to YouTube and watch that, or play on our podcast resilience series. That episode on awe, it was amazing because that's what nature does to you, right?
Nature is a huge part of it. Nature is massive. I think.
And I wanted to focus on that now because you went from the gym, but you didn't stop there. You actually went out. You start running and doing some stuff out there. Tell us a little bit about that, your outdoor experiences.
Now you're really putting me on the spot. Because what I didn't tell you was I used to drive to the gym.
Oh my God. And I know where your gym was, and I know
exactly, yes.
It was a 15-minute walk, Johnson.
It was a 15-minute walk, but hey, it was a 5-minute drive.
Yeah, saving time, right?
Exactly. Efficiency matters.
Exactly. Oh my God.
But that's the way it was, you know. I'd drive to the gym. And sometimes you do things out of choice. Sometimes you're forced to do things. So what forced me to change was the mere fact that we had a rented car. And then the rental period ended. So how am I getting to the gym? You walk. I thought, hold on, this is taking me too long. Half an hour later, I'm still not at the gym. And Andy told me it was only 15 minutes to walk. I thought,
it used to take me less than that, basically, to go to that gym.
So I thought, right, well, I better try and speed up a little bit. I'd walk a little bit faster, and then I'd run a little bit. And here's the thing: if you're not used to running, you're very self-conscious. You look and think, who's looking at me? Who's why is this weird-looking Chinese-looking guy running so slowly? Is he running or is he walking? Well, actually, in the end, it doesn't really matter because I'm not doing it for anybody else. I'm doing it for me. And so even now, when I do um, 5Ks on a regular basis, if I said to you what my um, pace is, you'd look at me and say, "Are you walking or are you running?" But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. And by the way, the answer to that question before,
Johnson, just between the two of us, nobody
yeah,
needs to know. I follow you on Strava.
yeah,
So
but I,
I know what you did yesterday. Have you gone running today already? No.
no, I'm going after this.
Right. I've done my running already, so I've done my
Yeah.
job.
So
Hey,
but I'll tell you, hey,
no, but I'm saying, let me say, the reason I'm saying this is because
yeah,
I think it's great. Your time is better than probably what you're saying to all our listeners and people watching is that I think you're doing absolutely great.
but this is the point I would make here. The time is irrelevant
Mm,
because so I like like you um, invested in one of these watches type things, and I'm thinking, why do I need one of those? When in 18 months since I started this, my pace has not changed in any significant way. It's more or less the same. But what it does tell me is that my heart rate is now different.
mm.
So I can
Wow,
run
that's very important.
exactly, and this is why measure. If you're going to measure anything, make sure you measure the right metric.
Mm,
Whether I still run, it takes me 7 minutes to do 1 kilometer. People pass me all the time, but hey, my heart rate on average.
Are you doing the park run Saturdays, 5Ks?
Uh, no, I didn't even know it started back. But hey, I might
Oh,
be
okay,
there.
no, that time, not now.
No, not now.
During that time, did you do any park run when you start running?
I did one, and then they shut it down.
Oh,
So I think COVID was an excuse. They just shut it down because they didn't want me to come anymore.
it was embarrassment for 5. They had to wait too long, right?
Exactly. Yes. People saying, "Come on, it's going dark. We started at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Come on,
We want to go home." But this is the point. You see, is that making sure whatever metric you're measuring, you measure against yourself,
mm,
and you measure the right metric.
mm,
So, for I would guess at least half of the people who would listen to this are saying, "Well, my goal is not to be the best in the top 10 for your age group or whatever it is. But I know that in terms of my heart health, it's got better.
mm,
I know in terms of since I've started, when I started, I was taking blood pressure medication. And my goal then is to say, I need to come off these meds because my research says that if you are losing weight and you are becoming fitter, your blood pressure will drop.
mm.
And so I used to take two meds. I'm now down to one.
That's
And that's simply based on an abundance of precaution because slow and low is my attitude to way to deal with. And this is not telling people you should come off your medication in any form or fashion. I'm just telling you how it is for me.
amazing.
Um, the last time I've seen a high blood pressure, which a hypertensive range of blood pressure, was 12 months ago.
Mm, that's amazing. That's really good. I mean, it's the same for me in many ways. Uh, First time round, it was because I wanted to be like Schwarzenegger,
Yeah,
and you want to be big and impress the girls, and the motivation is completely wrong. But then you're young. But later on, much later on in my mid 30s, it was because my dad died,
yeah,
and I was extremely sedentary and extremely overweight. And I said, I don't want to die like he did.
yeah,
So it changed completely your world. You're a father, you have children. You look at the world in a different way, in different views and perspectives. It's not about measuring against anybody or trying to be like anybody. It's like, is this the best I can be?
yeah,
No. So I need to improve. I need to be better for the sake of my children, for the sake of those people around me who love me, and yourself, in case, your wife and also people around you, and also your own health. And then you start saying gradually that, you're not only getting better, but people start getting attracted to be closer to you, to say, hey, what's happening? What happened to you? In a way that you start, hey, come along with me in this journey. And this is what Momentum Life Choice is, isn't it? Come along with us in the journey, and let's experience, true health,
Yes,
and get momentum in life, and change
exactly.
positively.
And just on that point of change, what the research says in terms of any change that or transition people make is that you need others along the way. Most people who try to make, the bigger the change, the harder it is to do. And the harder it is to do if you're more and more isolated. So if you can find a community of like-minded people that you can align yourself with. So you might be going like this, so you might be going like this, but if you're going in the same direction with common purpose, common goals, without competition against somebody else or versus somebody else, you are more likely to succeed.
Mm.
And that to me is what I've, been coming back to the gym bit is yeah. Um, that did it for me then. I don't go to the gym now, but if I go out running and I see somebody and I say, right, well, he's going in the same direction. I'm not going to catch him,
Mhm.
but I'm just trying to keep aligned to going in the same direction with them.
Mm. No, that's excellent, Johnson. Thank you so much for encouragement words. And if you're watching us now, just follow us here or share with someone. Just send this to someone right now. Push that button and send, to encourage someone to come along in the journey. And you can change today. You can change in the moment, and the results is for a lifetime. So I think if you subscribe to us, or comment, and if you want to share your journey with us, just drop us a line. We would love to also interview you. Thank you so much, Johnson. We'll
You're
speak
welcome.
soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye.